All right, Mr. Plucknett. Thank you for coming in today and get everything set up here. So first off, I just thank you for taking your time to come in and answer some questions. Tell your story. Start at the beginning and end at the end.
Okay. I've been meaning to get this off my chest. Here we go. So that one time at band camp,
We're gonna let's go with the witness one, please. Let's get this guy out of here. In an unexpected turn of events, we went to band camp, and we're back here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, breaking down Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. My name is Adam. That's Band Geek Terry. Welcome to another episode of the Sideshow where we do break it down. Breaking Bad. So let's do it again.
I threw you off so much. You got it. You just want to go back to it.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Redheads. Yes, it is. We are breaking down season 5, episode 12, titled Rabid Dog, not Rapid, Rabid Dog, which debuted September 1st, 2013 on AMC. This is a great episode. Again, we're ramping up to something big, and we had a really kind of a cliffhanger ending last week where Jesse was about to burn down the White's residence, and now we got a kind of a non-linear story here. We have two different sides of the story. We have going back and retelling a different perspective of things, which makes for a very interesting conversation. I think this was going to be a good one where it's really hard to figure out what like the best scene is. There's a lot of good stuff happening in this episode, and some good little places where things could go. Terry, Rabid Dog, man. This is a pretty cool episode, yes?
Yeah, it's getting to the point where nothing happens that doesn't just go holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like every twist and turn now is it's ratcheting up exponentially every time. And I just want to talk about it. So let's do our synopsis so we can.
Let's do it.
All right. So Breaking Bad, Season 5, Episode 12 is entitled Rabid Dog. Walt arrives at home, and what does he find? Does he find a house on fire? No. Just a house doused in gasoline, and Jesse nowhere in sight. So he tries to concoct a wild lie no one actually believes to explain the gas. But the White crew heads to a nice hotel for a few nights. Meanwhile, Walt has Saul and his goons looking furiously for Jesse, but they can't find him anywhere. Where did he go? Enter Hank. He arrived at the White residence just as Jesse was about to set it ablaze. He convinces him to come with him and take down the mighty Heisenberg the right way. To avoid detection and the long arm of what Walt could do, Hank stashes Jesse off the books at his own house, where he finally brings in Gomi to help him record Jesse's testimony. Jesse tells all. From the moment he met Mr. White in chemistry class, to cooking in the RV, to Tuco, to rehab, to Gus, to killing Gale and the drug dealers, to taking out Gus to Vominos pests, to killing a kid in a train robbery, to poisoning Brock, it was all there. And Hank and Gomi believe every word. So now what? It's Jesse's word against Walt's word. And Walt's word right now says Hank is running the whole meth show. They have to catch him in his lies. Well, Walt has been trying to contact Jesse, thinking that he can once again manipulate him and talk him down. Hank wants to use a potential meeting to get a confession. He wires up Jesse and sends him out to where Walt wanted to meet, one of the busiest spots in Albuquerque. Jesse isn't convinced this is the right move, thinking they are just playing into Walt's game. His paranoia hits overdrive walking to Mr. White sitting on a bench. When he sees a shady character around a corner, he bails, which actually turned out to be nothing. He calls Mr. White, tells him the war is on, and goes back to Hank. Jesse thinks he may have found another way to take him down. Walt finally listens to everyone else's advice and realizes Jesse needs to go. He calls Todd to employ the services of Uncle Jack one more time. There it is.
All right. So we're at the point of the show where things are set in motion that also it's hard to see certain possible outcomes of how it ends. With them recruiting Todd and Uncle Jack again, I don't foresee a future where, Jesse and Heisenberg or Walt become close at all, or in any line of communication, because you're gonna make a hit on his life, and I don't know where we go with Jesse moving forward. Like, what's his big in game plan? It's interesting, but as we're talking about this episode in its entirety here, there are some really cool things that we can peel back and kind of discuss here, because the whole setting up and having the two different perspectives of different stories being told. We have what Walt did at this time, and we have go back and we see what Jesse did with Hank and everything, and come to find out they just missed each other by mere moments, which was even crazier stuff. Marie's stuff is very interesting too, where Hank's like, you need to get the heck out of the house, and Marie's like, I'm staying, and she's wearing all black, but she is wearing purple socks, so there's the purple. Them staying at the hotel where Skylar's like, I'm on to your lies, you're talking to Saul Goodman, I just watched you. And talking about what's going on there. I like those interactions. There's a lot of really good little ground world character driven moments here too, with the relationships and seeing where things actually do go. Definitely the paranoia, kind of the characters, it's kind of shot kind of in those last couple moments. It's very paranoid, shaky camera, kind of reminded me of some Requiem for a Dream there, where they're the very closing moment, they're going through all their paranoid ending shots, where it's feels like that with the awesome score as well. It's not nearly on that level, but I liked the ending a lot of this episode, and I think Jesse proves once again that he is not the dullard meth addict character that everybody thinks he is. He has a plan of his own. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know. We'll discuss that a little bit later, but there's some cool things here, and it's really hard to figure out where to put things on our ranking or list here, because there's so many standout stuff that happens. So really kind of really solid episode. Even the quieter moments, like Walt and Walter Jr. at the pool, that was a really good scene, and there's a lot of good stuff that happens here. So yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, this is what's fascinating about this is, I mean, you've had other cat and mouse games throughout this show, right? You had a cat and mouse game between Walt and Tuco. You had a cat and mouse game between Walt and Gus. You had a cat and mouse game between Walt and Mike. You've had it all, but nobody knows Walt quite like Jesse. Mm-hmm. And now the cat and mouse game is Walt and Jesse, with a little bit of Hank sprinkled in too. Mm-hmm. And Hank knows what he's doing, but also you get Jesse watching Walt and truly understanding what he's capable of. And even the fact that his first thought when Brock was poisoned was that Walt did it. He had it right the whole time. He knows where Walt takes things. And so he's now on the other side. I thought it was interesting. This episode starts right where the last one ends, in this fit of rage we get from Jesse that we really haven't seen. He is, there's a reason it's called Rabid Dog for other conversations, but he kind of is a rabid dog in that moment. Mm-hmm. He is out of control. And when you see that scene when Hank walks in and he can't get away with it.
Yeah, that's where that GIF or the meme or whatever of him, he can't get away with it. Like I've seen that before. I'm like, that's where it came from. Okay, I got you now. I'm
now
tracking.
You know where it came from, yeah. And then I think, like, this always blends into best scene, and we're touching on a bunch of them, but one of the most fascinating moments of potentially the entire show so far. And I'll just say I remember very little about this episode. The second time I've seen this episode, it's been a while. I remember very little about this one. I remember it kind of as I'm watching it, but not necessarily the beats of it. There's like a 2-second moment that completely like reshapes how you think about this show. And it's the little girl running up to her dad that Jesse thought was Walt's hitman waiting for him. Walt was truly just wanting to talk to Jesse and willing to give it all up. And he was going to do it. And the wire was going to work, and they were going to get the confession they needed. It was all going to be over. And Jesse walked away. It could have been over. But now Jesse starts a war. Walt's calling in a hit on Jesse. And you kind of feel like all hell's going to break loose. When it could have been over right there. Like he outthought Walt. And kind of proved Hank right. Because Hank said
he cares about him.
Yeah. It's like he plays everybody but you. You're the one soft spot. He cares about you. And yeah, Jesse can't see it. It's just fascinating that everything changes all in that moment. That random little coincidence, which I don't know. Some people might say kind of cheapens it, that you just happen to have that guy there and it happened to not be the guy, but
you have a guy that looks so obvious, like a goon too. Bald head, goatee, staring in the same direction as Jesse's walking up, kind of staring, kind of like menacing too. And he like the girl's running on screen, and he's like, "Dad," and then also he's like, "Oh, hi!" Like he changes his demeanor like totally. So it's
but
like that.
Also, that's one of those things, though, that when you're paranoid about something, you see things that aren't actually there, too.
Or true.
Like that could have been how he interpreted. Like Jesse, for a second, thought someone just on a jog running by him was, coming after him. So he may have just seen it in a way that wasn't how it actually was.
Actually, well, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I like that. I can see that. Yeah. Like good stuff there, Terry. All right. Yeah, we're kind of tiptoeing around best scene here, but there's to dive deeper into what is your best scene.
I wrote down like 5 things.
We'll mention one first.
I'm gonna go with that plaza confrontation, or confrontation that wasn't, because that's the crux of the whole episode. Like the whole episode comes down to that moment, and the way it plays out has ramifications that are going to echo throughout. You got to think are going to echo throughout everything else that happens.
Oh yeah. I already
like that is a turning point moment where Walt finally looks at Jesse as old Yeller, and
oh my good. Yeah, you're just full of clever analogies, aren't you?
Right, yeah.
brimming of advice.
But yeah, that, like, no, it feels like there's been very few scenes that have completely altered the course of the plot of this quite like that moment.
Yeah, the only other like scene, like thing I can think of is that Walt killing those drug dealers. That completely changed. If he doesn't do that, it completely changes everything. That's another one I can think of. But
yeah, and I mean they're like Gus getting killed. Like there are other scenes where that are defining scenes, but having a scene like that where you walk into the scene saying the result of this scene is going to take this show, this plot, these characters either this way or 180 degrees the other way.
True.
And watching how exactly it played out, and that it went haywire before it even had a chance to start.
Yeah.
For reasons that were completely in Jesse's mind. It is just wild. It's just wild.
Yeah. I like that. No, that's a great scene. There's a lot of great things that do happen in there. Well, I'm sure we'll bring it up at some point again too. My favorite scene here, I think, is also it's actually a Hank scene. I liked the whole him and Marie kind of their interaction when she walks back from visiting Dave, and the bags are packed. She's like, "What's the meaning of this?" Like, it's like, "No, just go away. I got you in the spa and blah, blah, blah. This hotel, fancy hotel." Wouldn't it be funny if it was the same hotel that Skylar and Walt were at? Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
I was kind of wondering. It's like, is she gonna end up at the same hotel?
They just like randomly like run into each other at the spa. That'd be funny. But that's a great scene because you actually get like Marie, like, no, we need I'm not leaving, and he can stay type of thing, but I'm not leaving. And then he walks out like half asleep, and Jesse's like, oh crap, there's a lady here, and she's like, do you want some coffee? Yeah, I'll take some coffee. Yeah. And it leads into like the next scene where Hank is setting up the video camera, very like old manish. Like, how do I make sure my lighting's good? Make sure everything looks set up good here. And Gomi's there too, which means he finally told somebody in the office too. So he's ready for that stage. And it leads to the Gomi and Hank like realizations. Like, I believe this kid. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. Any interaction with Gomi, Hank, and Jesse, I think this was their shining moments, I think, too, for this episode.
Well, and so a couple things there. My favorite part of that interaction is this bad for Walt? Yeah, really bad. Good. I'm staying. As like just the way she reacted to that was great. And you got to wonder a little bit, why now? Why is this the time to bring in Gomi? And I think the reason is because Hank finally has what he can use as proof.
Yeah,
he has Jesse. It's like, wait till you hear the story he has, and you'll understand what's been going on. And Gomi is a good enough friend. He knows Hank. He knows the family well enough that he'll understand exactly why Hank is doing what he's doing with this.
Because he's interacted with Walt and stuff too, like from episode 1.
Yeah, at his birthday party.
At his birthday party, and the ride along.
And the ride, he was on the ride along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they went after Captain Cook.
Chili
P, yo.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a few other scenes. We've mentioned all of them. Walt and Skylar.
It's a good one.
It's a good one, and I don't know what it was. It was something about, maybe it was because they were like in this fancy hotel or something. But the lighting in that scene, like it just, I felt the lighting in that scene was so cool, and it kind of it made, I don't know, it made Skylar like pop in a way she hasn't in the past.
In a long time. She has like very crazy looking eyes, like her eyes in that scenes. Very, very. When I've noticed this a couple times when she becomes super powerful, in scenes, her eyes
Mhm.
pop like a lot. Like it's crazy. I don't know how they light her, but
it was great lighting, but also you had the hotel room with like the red walls, like it just she just popped in a way she hadn't before, and then she also kind of came across as almost this like mob matriarch in that moment too. Like it's I'm not your scared wife as I talk to you. I am your partner in this, and this is what we have to do. And I another great line in that one is how much have you had to drink? Not enough.
yeah, great. It's a good line.
Yeah, I thought that, and then she echoes like what Saul had just told Walt too. That that you gotta put him down. You gotta get rid of him. He is now the threat. He is he's the one, just like the 10. He's Gus. He's the drug dealers.
Give me
He's
one
Gabe.
more.
He's Tuco. He's the one that's threatening everything you've built.
Crazy 8. Yeah.
Crazy 8. Emilio.
Just give me
all
one
of
more.
them.
Just give me one more. We'll make it work with one more.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a great scene. Even like little scenes too when they're at like he's first telling that lie, and he's like, "Dad, stop bullshitting us. Like you fainted, didn't you?"
Well, he didn't
like,
say that.
Well, he
He
didn't
didn't say that
us, but
until they were poolside.
No, he said in the house too. He's like, "Dad, tell us the truth. Like you fainted, didn't you? The fumes of the gas made you faint." He said that.
See, I thought he said that poolside.
Well, he said that in the. He's like, "Well, how about?" Then he changed the topic. Oh, how about we go to a hotel? He's like, "Oh yeah," because he brings up that we can't stay here. How about we go to? And then Walt Jr. says, "How about we go to Marie and Hank's house because they have plenty of space?" And
how about a hotel?
Like, how about a hotel? Yeah, that's great.
That sounds great. Yeah. Oh yeah, he used it to change the topic. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And the poolside with Walt.
That's a great scene too.
Walter Jr. It's a great scene. It's one of the best moments of Walter Jr. He sneaky has a lot of those good moments that you don't necessarily realize.
Should have brought our trunks, huh? Our suits, huh? Yeah.
The Ken Wins Bogdan douchebag of the episode is who?
Kind of Marie, I guess, in this sense, out of everybody. But no, I don't like Marie, even though she was looking up recipes to kill somebody, and she was saying it in her counseling sessions. I'm pretty sure he has to report that. The counselor.
I have Marie as my MVP because she just like the fact that she's looking up ways to poison him. The whole, is this bad for Walt? Good, then I'm in. No, I think Marie rocks this thing.
No, yeah,
maybe in a douchey way, but she rocks it.
Yeah, I'm not putting her. I'm going to put the guy running at the big opening area, because you're like, come from a different angle. You can clearly see the guys. You're like running up on somebody who's not looking at you. You just basically make a beeline straight for him, and then like act like he's in the wrong, which is great. So it's kind of a douchebag move. So the guy jogging is what I must say.
That's fair. All right, I'm going Walt for a very obviously he's always a douchebag, but for a very specific reason. Have you checked with his friends? What Beaver is his name, I think, and the other one. Beaver? Really? Beaver? That's what you're going with?
Yeah, leave it to Beaver. Yeah, come on.
One of those animals.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Beaver.
And heavy Peter or something like that. Yeah. Be funny. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a funny line though. Beaver and the other one. Yeah, it's a good one.
I was just like, dude, come on. At least know their names.
They were under your employ at one point within the last year.
They were. He met him at the bomb museum.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear that from me. The Pinkman Stickman Award.
The hulking man that has a daughter.
Yeah. That's fair.
But the funny thing about that guy, he looks like a henchman, but we know he has a daughter, so he's got it in at some point. However, that clearly was the mom dropping off, doing an exchange of custody. It's like, okay, now it's your turn. It's like, now it's the weekend.
Probably.
Yeah. So it's like they're divorced. It's a divorced married couple that is doing the exchange on the weekend. And there's like, okay, here's a wide open spot. You can go run to your dad now. Because where was that girl before? They had a wide shot of the thing. The girl wasn't there. So clearly they walked up within the moments he walked to the payphone and she ran up to her dad. And that's
the only other option is if like a school bus drove by or something like, but yeah.
I like the backstory we've created for this guy.
I like your backstory. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely he's a good father. You know, he's probably, you know, has some money. He's wearing a leather jacket. You know, he's being there for his kid. He can switch from angry face to happy face really quickly. The hulking man. Yeah,
I felt like he looked like bald Carl Urban from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, probably in the multiverse. Yeah.
Good one. All right, I have a gimmick pick and then I have a serious pick. My gimmick pick is the locksmith because his job is to make sure it can get in.
Usually they want new keys. Yeah.
No, just the old ones will do. But the serious pick is I think the one person that had a confirmed moment in this episode was Santa Walt.
That's a great pick. That's like the VIP. That's like the MVP of picks for Stickman this year for you, Terry. That's a great pick.
You know Santa Walt had with Mrs. Skylar Marilyn Monroe on his lap.
Yeah, you're gonna get some mistletoe tonight.
Yeah, Exactly.
The red one. Yeah. It's a good that's a great pick actually. That's up there with your, you know, antenna. That one that you like, aluminum foil antenna. Yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you. I do what I can.
I like that.
All right. The best new face. Hey, that's Danny Trejo Award.
Hey, it's Bruce McKenzie as Dave. He's never appeared in the show, but he has been appeared by name. So
yeah, we've heard a lot about Dave, but he finally shows up.
He finally shows up trying to tell me more about this tape. Tell me more about, you know, you're not going to tell me anything, but at least how about the you were upset with the calendar, the scheduling or parking schedule or whatever.
Yeah. He's my LVP because he just you can. Why does Marie? I mean, I know why Marie likes him because he does nothing to actually challenge her in any way.
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, exactly. And
great call for LVP too. But yeah, that's the only new face really. Other than
no. All right, I've got another one. There's he's I don't know. Well, there's a few. Like you've got the locksmith, you've got the carpet cleaners. You go with that, but I'm gonna go with homeless man. I don't even know who this is, and the reason I'm going with him is because he's played by a guy named Jack Burning.
Ooh, Jack Burning.
And that just sounds cool.
He sounds like an undercover cop.
Yeah, I don't even know who this is. Like they're the only his profile picture is a movie poster from a PBS special.
That tracks.
Like, I mean, is this the dad? Is this the guy who put like the kid is billed, but
it says hulking man on the wiki page, which is interesting. I don't know about the
hulky man. There's no hulky man build in IMDb. There's a homeless man. Maybe this is the guy.
Because the guy was wearing a leather jacket. He's definitely not homeless.
Yeah, I don't know, but then he's not billed. Like he should be billed then. Because that's a fairly significant face. But there's there's homeless man, there's kid, and there's an uncredited homeless man's wife.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm going with Jack Burning because his name is Jack Burning.
Sounds like a cager. Cage name.
It does. It does. But
I like it. That's a great pick.
I don't know what that's about, but I'm here for it.
Sticking with it, yeah.
Old Joe Gomi, minor character of the episode.
Gotta go with the carpet cleaners here. For the simple fact that, hey, we would love to take your money, but you're gonna need to change out the carpet and the foam, the padding, and some of your floorboards, bud. Like, we're not gonna get that smell out.
Yeah, I could keep taking your money, but that was good.
We pulled up 250s.
I'm going with Kubi in this one.
Yeah, Kubi, he's always a good solid pick.
Well, and for like the amount that he like went through, I mean, this is impressive. What he was able, he's looking for Jesse. He goes, I've checked everywhere. I checked his place. I checked his parents' place. I checked all the crack houses, the Crystal Palace, the go-kart place over there, the AA meeting off of this street. And then, Badger and Skinny Pete. Yeah, no, he's not with them. I got in, surveilled Badger's place, and he just talked for 5 hours about something called Babylon 5.
The only place he did was that taco place, the hot dog place.
Oh,
the taco place.
Mm-hmm.
That he's been to a couple times.
But it was him going down that list of everywhere he checked. It's like, this is the list of Jesse's greatest hits right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about
his house.
That's about all the places we've seen Jesse. You know where we hadn't seen Jesse yet? Hank's house, and that's where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
good call.
That's what I went with here. Let's see. Next we've got the cow house. Dumbest thing said.
Oh, man, you think it's gonna leave a scar? I should never let my dojo membership expire.
It's exactly what I've written down. Like what? Never should let my dojo membership expire.
Step into my dojo.
That I think, like, Saul says a lot of clever things. That might be the dumbest thing he's ever said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep down, he loves me. He loves me. Deep down, he loves me is a good one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything better than that. That's
his friend Beaver and the other guy's funny.
Beaver is good.
The Mr. Rogers has a lung tumor, but I think
that one is good too.
If you're being like not funny with the line, but being like all serious, saying to your wife you're overreacting is a horrible mistake. He said, "This is a big overreaction, Skylar."
Yeah, how many times has he said that to Skylar?
Yeah, it's a dumb thing to say to her.
Yeah,
you'd never say that to your wife.
It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
you've used that one already. Walt.
That's your greatest hits.
You've used it, Walter.
There we go. There's the Mike Trout.
Yeah. R.I.P. Mike. Problems, outdated. Any flaws you may have seen?
I got two things. I got what door actually leads to the garage in Walt's house? Because he comes in through the front door, right? And he goes through the sliding door. The door in front of him coming out of the sliding door to the left, right? That would be the front door. He goes down the hall. You have the kitchen on the left. The first door onto his right. That's the baby's room. The right across from the baby's room. That's where he installed that tankless water heater, where the vent is. Crawl space. He goes to the next door to the right. That's where Walter Jr. sleeps. The door straight ahead. That's you get the door on the left across. That's the bathroom, and then you got the door in front. No, maybe there's not a door in front of Walter Jr.'s room, but a door in front, and at the very end is the master bedroom. Where is the garage door? The garage door. Yeah, because I was like tracking, like he didn't go in the garage. Because what door actually is it? Where does this door sit in this house? Because all the doors that he opened 3 different doors or 4 doors. Baby's room, Walter Jr.'s was already open. his master bedroom and the crawl space door too. So it's like those are the doors he opened, but where is the actual door to the garage?
Huh. That's a great call.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing. I was like, wait, the garage would be the best hiding spot if he's not in those other spots. But what's the layout of this house? It made him Google it. See, that's my MVP moment right here. Is this catching that?
All right, so I just Googled Walter White house blueprint.
Oh God, I knew they had something like this.
All right, so that zoomed in too much. Can I get somewhere in between? Ridiculous. Nope, I can't. Don't think I can. Okay. Oh. Okay. So this is saying the door to the garage is outside, opposite the front door. That makes sense. So you walk up the walkway, you take a left to go in the front door, you take a right to go in the garage.
So you have to go outside your house to go back inside your house?
Yep. That's what it's saying.
Okay, but then here's the question here. Where's that baby room sit?
So the baby room and Walter Jr.'s room, they're the back walls of their room are the back wall of the garage.
They have windows in them.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would mean that the windows would go into the garage.
The house should be like the way the layout of the house should be completely reversed. The tankless water heater should be on the garage side, and the rooms, those two windows should be facing out to the pool. But it doesn't.
Okay, and this says the tankless water heater would be on the opposite wall, like behind the kitchen.
Yeah, that's the wall that it should be on. Yeah, it should be on the kitchen side.
Which makes sense. Because this also says there is only one bathroom. That's the master bathroom.
That's also a horrible layout. So everybody has to go through mom and dad's room unless there's
a door. That would explain why Hank was in that bathroom to drop his massive douche.
That's a horrible thing. What happens if Walter was being a stick man and Junior has to go use the crapper?
His childhood just went down the crapper. That's what would happen.
Yeah. This is the ultimate flaw.
But you know what though? This isn't a flaw. You know why? Because this is an actual house. Like
this isn't. Yes, it is.
I mean, this is an actual house. Like you look at the exterior. Like this is the only way this house works.
Yeah, send me the image. I do want to see it, and we should probably post that down below, dude, because this will be like a good check out what we're talking about.
Let's see if I can find another one. Let's see if this one shows anything different, because there are a ton of these, by the way.
Yes, maybe I'm not the only one that had this theory but I'm like, biggest thing is like, so they're windows, but here's it gets even deeper though, because if those windows led to the garage, they clearly showed when he came out of the garage door, that wall had the washer dryer on it, and he had stacks of cash that he showed Holly in those walls and no windows.
So. Okay, so this has a second bathroom between Holly's room and Walter Jr.'s room. It tries to solve the problem of the windows by saying Holly's window is outside the front door.
Is there a window?
And Walter Jr.'s window is on the side of the house. And there's a second bathroom between Holly's room and Walter Jr.'s room. And then the tankless water heater is behind the kitchen, which is also where the master bathroom is. This one makes a little more sense, but still, I'd have to go back because you're right. That one scene with the where he goes out and he shows them the money. It's all the placement of, and this one even it has the door in the same spot, but it has a question mark next to it because they realize the same thing. Where's the door to the garage? So the other one I looked at had you walk out the door to the garage and the washer and dryer to the left of as you walk out the door, which I feel like that feels right in comparison to what happened in that scene. The second one has it, you walk out and it's along the back wall, which is to the left. So it's to the left, but it's not like on the same wall as the door. I feel like it was on the same wall as the door.
I feel like yeah.
But I could be wrong. We'll look at these more later. We've yeah. Now I want to see, what does the next one say? I'm fascinated now. That looks like the same one. This is a different one.
I did good.
You did good.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Okay, so this one says Holly's room doesn't have a window. And it says there's only one bedroom or one bathroom. And this one I think has the door straight ahead. No, it has the door in the same spot. I think that's kind of the general accepted spot, is that the garage door is on the front porch opposite the front door.
Wait, and I can see that happening. It's just when you're living in, like, it's weird. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like a weird spot, but also logical too, I guess.
Yeah. Huh. Wild.
Okay, well, I have another thing.
Okay.
What kind of hotel are they staying at? Because are they like staying in a suite? Because that room's huge.
Yeah, that room is huge.
There's so much, and then they got another room, so they're dropping bank on that hotel.
Yeah.
And do you think that Walt had a kind of a Mr. McAllister reaction, like, you spent $127 on room service? Junior.
Potentially. I could totally see that.
You ordered what on pay-per-view? I was watching it for the plot.
That's a good call. Sorry, I'm still wrapped up in pictures. I didn't have anything down for flaws or anything like that.
That's a good one. I'm looking. Yeah, that's
this is gonna fascinate me now as we continue to watch. Okay, moving on. Midlife crisis moment.
Not knowing what shows are popular, like Babylon 5.
Yeah, I mean, was that popular at that time though? Well, I don't know.
Not in 2009. This show came out in the 90s, so yeah. It was during the time. But though, it was a show that was doing a lot of reruns because of the new show Battlestar, the redone of Battlestar Galactica. Because I remember that in 2009, that my friend 2008-2009, my friend was super into the new Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
And there was, I remember hearing about Babylon 5, but they are Trekkies too. And that is a show that's kind of not necessarily, it's like, they're not connected by any means. They're two different entities, but they're adjacent. It's more, Babylon 5 is more like Star Trek, I would imagine, than Star Wars.
Okay.
Maybe like Stargate. That's another, it's kind of, Babylon 5 is like kind of close to Stargate.
Well, we've definitely heard so far in this show that Beaver is quite proficient in all those. So
nerdy shows.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Beaver. My midlife crisis moment is you didn't even notice I said it wrong.
At first.
It is something you've already kind of alluded to, but it's true. I never remember to bring my swimsuit to a hotel.
You should have brought the trunk.
I never remember. I always forget to bring the swimsuit. And then it's like, oh man, now would be a great time to go in the pool. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm going. My wife and I are about to go on a little trip too. I'm like, I should bring that.
Mm-hmm,
good.
Mm-hmm. I always forget.
It could be like Skylar too, midlife. I haven't had enough yet. No, I haven't had enough to be That it takes a little bit long. It takes a little bit more than just one little drink. Not enough.
You're gonna need a lot of drinks.
Yeah.
All right. I already said my LVP is Dave. My MVP is Marie. What's your LVP and MVP?
Did he think that changing the recycling bin location, like the gas can and the recycling, was going to be a huge deal?
Of course.
And I kind of wish that when he turned around, Carol was there, the neighbor. That would have been hilarious.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol. Nothing. Mine's full.
Oh, hi, Walt.
LVP for me, I think. That's a tough one. LVP. That's a good one. Dang. LVP. Well, my MVP, I do have Jesse down here because he has some secret plan, and also they believed his story because he's not just some meth head like Hank would like to assume he is.
Yeah.
But Gomi actually does believe him too, which makes him kind of a candidate as well. LVP here is thinking. I don't really have one, but Hank's thinking that Jesse's going to miss the toilet with his pee. It's pretty bad.
That's good.
And maybe LVP is the actual people, the architects who actually built this house. That could be an LVP.
That could be. That could be. All right. Well, we're gonna find out your theories on what's gonna happen over these last
4 episodes.
4 episodes. But first, the Walter White body count is at 1 Amelia, 1 Crazy 8, 1 Ken Wynn's car, 1 Custodian's career, 1 Tuco hideout, 1 lock, 1 uneaten burrito, 1 paper towel holder, 1 back door to Jesse's house, 1 love of Jesse's life, a few burned $100 bills, 1 pepperoni pizza, 1 career in education, 1 meth making RV, 1 beginning of a galeful friendship, 1 fly, 2 kid killing drug dealers, 1 Gail Bedecker, 1 faithful bottle of wine, 3 laundry worker jobs, 1 Walter Jr. dream car, 1 Pinkman living room, 1 Great Aunt Birgit, 1 secret underground meth lab, 1 Gale special coffee maker, 2 nameless henchmen, 1 Tyrus, 1 Hector Salamanca, 1 Gustavo Fring, 1 room full of evidence using magnets, bitch, a bunch of insects, 1 sanity of Skylar White, 1 kid on a dirt bike, 1 zip tie around his wrist, 1 Mike Ehrmantraut, 2 imprisoned legacy loose ends, 1 GPS locator, 1 fabricated confession, and 1 outfit and car soaked in gasoline. And the Jesse ass kick count remains at 10, which means he gets his ass kicked once every 5.8 episodes. So, Adam, what's coming up next?
All right.
What is the plan?
What is going on? Well, what's going on? Obviously, Uncle Jack and the gang gets to try to take out Jesse. But I feel like the only way Jesse would ever try to possibly meet, I don't know what Jesse's plan is. That's where my loose end is. I do not know what Jesse is thinking to bring him out to meet him. But I have a feeling they are bringing up Brock a little bit. I think Andrea and Brock probably come back, and that's something where they can try to lure, bring Jesse back into them because of Andrea and Brock here. I can see that. But I don't see a world where Jesse and Walt have any reconciliation at all now, because if they go that route, I don't see, and if anything happens to them, I don't see where the events of after what happens after the show, if there's going to be any like, oh man, Walt was such a good guy. I think we're past that at this point. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a bummer because we really like Jesse and we've been following Walt this whole time. And, you think they're going to go down together or at least go on the run together, but they probably aren't. So that's going to be interesting. And then obviously if Jesse does go there, that's where Hank is going to probably see the new crew of people doing it. So I think that's how that gets tied in, and that could be possibly an ugly situation too, and that having them know their faces and what they are capable of too. So it's not. There's going to be some stuff happening that's going to probably be pretty sad, I would imagine, coming up pretty soon, because how else is the show going to wrap up? We have 4 episodes left, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some bodies hitting the floor before we get to the very end of the show. And I think that depending on what happens with, the next couple episodes, I think that's where we possibly get Walt trying to redeem himself in the best way he possibly can. But at the same time, is maybe just Walt just dies a bad guy, and that's perfectly fine too, because it's like his ego got in the way, and that was what really did him in, and that was his kryptonite, and that was he's actually the evil person. So, but I don't know. I don't like that as much, but it's going to be some sad. I think the next couple episodes are going to be pretty sad, probably. So that's kind of where I'm heading, and I just it's fascinating that we're actually getting to the end of this and still seeing I'm not sure how it exactly ties up, but I just have some general ideas. And it's this could be all bad for a lot of our favorite characters. This could be all bad.
Could be.
Anyway, could be. Could not be.
Could be.
They could all just go out to IHOP and they could they could go out to dinner and just be like, let's talk it out. We'll invite Hulking Man and the hobo, and
we just need to talk. Need to talk.
Hello Kitty, really?
Still out there. The Hello Kitty is still out there. Well, that's it. That's what we got for this one.
That's all we got for Rabid Dog, folks. Thank you again so much for listening to us break down Breaking Bad. Breakdown of Breaking Bad. My name is Adam. That is Terry, and we hope you have an A1 day.
Sit and spin.